Yeah.
You know, he doesn't care about anybody. I mean, we talk about psychopaths. I would not, if I was working with her, I would not advise her to leave immediately. I would say, listen, we have to plan for you to leave.
Right.
So you go through a safety plan.
Right.
But it is not recommended that you leave. And he was scaring her. And by the way, just to let everybody know, on average, a woman leaves a violent relationship after 7 reported incidents. It is so critical that we emphasize this, because I do not like hearing some of these comments from people all online about she should just get up and go. Well, you know what?
It's not that easy.
It is not that easy. And we're talking about 7 times a woman reports the incident. This is not isolated events and situations, just when it's severe enough for it to be disclosed and documented. So that tells us about the immense resilience and complexity that it takes to make these decisions, because fear, emotional attachment, financial independence, societal pressures, all of this can influences how somebody seeks help.
Right.
Okay. Right. So we talked. Hey, how's everybody doing?
This is good stuff, Alicia. This is good
By
stuff.
the way, I just want to say, if you go to the show notes, they have information there. If anybody is going through a very difficult situation, if you yourself, if you know somebody, hit the like button and share this video so that people can understand why and how people are in this type of relationships. Many of us are in it. By the way, there's no socioeconomic status. You could be the wealthy of the wealthy and the poorest of the poor. Domestic violence permeates all economic levels. That's one thing I was surprised by, just as a practicing social worker. So, so I just wanted to say that, and just let everybody know, if this is triggering for you or any of that, go to the notes in the show, and it has the number to the domestic violence hotline, so you guys can have that, you know, at your fingertips, and you can hit the like button and share this with somebody who may be going through something like this. Now, I know people have been talking about the fact that Cassie and Puff Daddy are trauma bonded, and some of this happens because of the cycle of abuse. And I know you have this book. Y'all don't know Miss Tamika Moore. She's got a book called The Anti-Woman, and it's all, she wrote it 3 years ago, and it's all about societies. Look at women, and it's all about women. And I want to talk a little bit about the cycle of abuse. What can you tell? How can you set the stage so that people can understand more about the psychological reasons why women stay in abusive relationships?
Okay. Well, that's the key word, cycle. Cycle. It goes around, it goes around, it goes around. So the cycle of abuse. First, sometimes it can really start very, very light, you know, yelling, pushing, keeping yourself away from your family and friends. And then you like, oh no, he just loved me. He just want me to himself. Sometimes you got to weigh how much, because it's that isolation. It's that isolation. How much are you isolated? One thing about a cycle of abuse is that I need to get you away from your support system. Okay. Because if you feel that you have no help and that person is the only way to help you, it is easy to manipulate you, and it is easy to intensify that abuse. That is how the start of it sometimes. So that cycle of abuse, okay, it had, you know, some say it happened. He said that he will never do it again. You know, he brought me flowers, you know, we went out, you know, we had a good night, you know, that night, you know, and so that's the honeymoon stage, you know, it goes the honeymoon. That's the honeymoon stage. That's the honeymoon stage. But then lo and behold, again, it'll escalate right back up, right? So I don't know anyone who's been in a domestic violence relationship and report that it only happened one time. I just don't know. It will come.